Peace and goodness, everybody. How are you today? I hope all of you feel good. Well, let's start with our daily prayer. In that case, we have to pay attention to the following video that is the prayer to my worded angel. Okay? Listen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Angel of God's light, whom God sends as a companion for me on earth, protect me from the snares of the devil, and help me to walk always as a child of God, my Creator. Angel of God's truth, whose perfect knowledge serves what is true, protect me from deceits and temptations. Help me to know the truth, and always to live the truth. Angel of God's love, who praises Jesus Christ, the only Son of God, who sacrificed his life for love of us, sustain me as I learn the ways of divine love, of sacrificial generosity, of meekness and lowliness of heart. Thank you, my heavenly friend, for your watchful care. At the moment of my death, bring me to heaven, where the one true God, who is light, truth and love, lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Okay, guys. Welcome to our English class again. In that case, we have an interesting part. We already have our English students book 2B. In that case, we have another kind of book, the second edition book. This is the second edition book that we already start for this all be monthly, okay? This is this kind of book. And also we have already all of you have to participate in this class. Okay, let's continue. Here we have the seventh activity about reading prediction. Here, the last sentence in the paragraph often helps you predict the topic of the next paragraph. Here, A and B. Look at the title and the picture in exercise B. What do you think about the article is about? B. Read paragraph 1 to 3 of the article. One at a time, choose the option to predict the topic of the next paragraph. Then, read the next paragraph to check. In that case, we have a paragraph about the fattest pancake in two countries. The small town of Omley in England is very famous on one Tuesday every year. Short Tuesday is in February and is a special day. In some places, this is called Carnival of Merry Wraps, but in UK, it's called Pancake Day. Traditionally, this is a day when people empty their kitchen cabinets to use up foods like eggs and butter. They make a lot of delicious pancakes and eat them with lemon juice and sugar. So, what is only famous on a short Tuesday? Here, number 1. Think of the topic of the next paragraph is going to be. In that case, we have to be the answer. What kind of the answer it can be here? According to this kind of short paragraph description, we have to complete an underline, okay? What is the underline? The underline is subrayar, okay? Okay, let's start. A and B. Number 1 says, again, I think the topic of the next paragraph is going to be what? A or B? In that case, the history of a short Tuesday of Only, a description of the town of Only. What kind is the answer? What is the answer? Part A. Okay, underline part A. The history through Tuesday on Only. Let's continue with the next part. In that case, we have the story. The story is that in 1445, a woman of Olney was making pancakes on Tuesday when the church bells rang. She didn't want to be late, so she ran out of her house. She was wearing the typical apron to her cap on 15th century housewife. She also carried a frying pan with a pancake in it when she arrived at the church. Today, the people of Olney remember that event with a pancake race every year on the third Tuesday. In that case, number 2, I think the topic of the next paragraph is going to be, what is the correct answer? We have two options. A, an explanation of how to make pancakes. B, a description of the pancake race. What is the correct answer here? Part B, a description of the pancake race. Una descripción, okay, is a description. Now, here we have another kind of activity in the same page, okay? Here, for example, says, for the race. These days, Constantines still have to wear an apron and a hair cap, a curry or frying pan with a pancake in it, just like the housewife in 1445. It is difficult enough to run with a tripod, but a contestant must also fry their pancakes at the beginning and the end of the race. The race starts at 11:55 a.m. and the contestants around about 380 meters. Of course, the only contestants compete against each other, but they also compete with a small town in the state of the Kansas, in the USA. They adopt a pancake race custom from Olney, and now every year the two towns compete for the fastest time in the race. A Kansas woman holds the record, and last year I decided to enter the Kansas race. I didn't win, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, in this guide, in letter C, working groups, discuss these questions. Number 1, what does the title of the story refers to? 2, why do people traditionally eat pancakes on the Truth Tuesday? 3, what was the housewife doing when she heard the church bells? 4, what did she take to church? 5, what do contests these days work for the race? 6, which two places compete at fastest time in the race? Okay, this is some question about is related to something about these kinds of reading, about this kind of paragraph description. Okay, and also you have to discuss these questions in order to know more about these kinds of paragraph describing. Okay, let's continue with the next part. Here we have another kind of exercise. In this kind of exercise, said speaking, explaining what you mean. When do you know the English word for something, or you need to explain a word to someone else, you can use a description to explain what you mean. You can talk about the item's appearance, what it's made of, or you can compare it to similar things, okay? Something you have to guessing about what kind of word, what kind of phrase do you really says, what is it, okay? Most of them usually don't know what is the correct word in English. So in order to use, you have to use about the languages, about the signs. You have to recognize what kind of word that you is to use. For example, here, A, match the descriptions to the picture. Notice the phrases involved. Here we have some kind of pictures about, for example, watermelon, an omelette, and tangerine, ketchup, a turkey. Okay, some kind of food. And also here we have to match. What does match mean? Match is unir. Okay, we have to, tenemos que unir. What? Description and also pictures. For example, number 1. This type of fruit is similar to an orange, but is smaller and sweeter. What kind of description it is correct? Which belongs to letter C. Tangerine. Okay? Matching number 1 to letter C. Okay, guys, let's continue. Number 2. It's like a chicken, but it's really big. What is something like a chicken, but it's really big? In that case, it is a turkey. Okay? Match number 2 with letter E. Let's continue with number 3. It's a very large fruit. It is green on the outside and red inside. What is this kind of fruit? A watermelon. Okay? Let's check this part. 3, 2, A. Number 4. It is a kind of sauce. Is made of tomatoes and it comes in a bottle. What is that? And it's also red. What is it? Letter D. Okay? Let's matching number 4 to letter D. At the end, 5. It's made of eggs and it sometimes has cheese or vegetables in it. What is that? Omelette. So let's match number 5 to letter B. Okay, as soon as you completed these kinds of exercises, let's continue with part B. In part B says work in pairs. Use the expressions involved in exercise A, like these ones, on your own ideas to describe the foods and dishes in the pictures below. Turns guessing the foods. In that case, we have kiwis. In that case, we have sweet potatoes. And also we have some, it has a salad. Okay? You have to complete and also you can use some descriptions about it. But in that case, you have to only be orally. Yeah? Okay? Thank you, these parts. Let's start with the next part. In the next part, we have a letter writing a recipe. Number 9. Writing a recipe. Do you remember about this kind of exercises? Yeah, okay. We already done this kind of exercises about the recipe. But in that case, we already done these exercises about the COVID-19 pandemic. Do you remember that? You have to create a creative recipe, an interesting recipe, but is to avoid the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, you already know that. Okay, but in that case, we have another kind of example about the recipe. For example, here we have a salad recipe. Would you like to try it? ¿Te gustaría probarlo? Why or why not? ¿Por qué y por qué no? In that case, you say Asian chicken salad. Okay. Ingredients of that: some cooked chicken, a package of noodles, a carrot, some cucumber, some roasted peanuts, some soy sauce, a little Sesame oil, a few red pepper flakes, or a little chopped chili pepper, optionally, and a little Thai basil to serve. Okay? What is about the preparation? Here says, first, cook the noodles. While the noodles are cooking, thinly slide the carrot and cucumber. Put them in bowl. Then add the chicken and the peanuts. When the noodles are ready, add them to the other ingredients. And some chili pepper if you like spicy food. Finally, add some soy sauce and a little sunflower oil. and mix all the ingredients together. Serve in worse bowls with some dyed basil. Okay? As soon as you finish this kind of preparation, you can enjoy it. Something about this kind of relation about the Asian chicken salad, you already know and you already done about your own kind of recipe about the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, guys, in this case, you're very creative here. Barbie, working groups. Write a recipe for a dish that is easy to make. Share your recipes with a class, vote for the best ones. In that case, we already done in your writing producing. Now, let's practice with English workbook. Okay, let's go to our English workbook to be the second edition that is this kind of book. Okay, guys? Well, open in that case your English, but first of all, we have to listen. We have to listen to three people talking about the most unusual food they have ever tasted. Okay? The lesson is about the three people talking about the most unusual food they have ever tasted. Here we have to practice exercise A in track 18. Okay? Here you have to pay attention and listen carefully. Why? Because after you listen this part, you have to complete the another next page with some information about this listening practice. Okay, guys? So we have to listen carefully. Let's start with this part. 1. When I was in Australia, I visited a restaurant that served crocodile stew. The crocodile meat was extremely tough and not that tasty. In fact, it was too difficult to chew, and I gave up halfway through. 2. In Sweden, they eat this strange kind of pickled herring. It's kept in the wooden barrel for a year. You eat it with potatoes, a little onion, and a few tomatoes. It is usually served on thin, hard bread. It tastes delicious, kind of sour and sweet at the same time, but the smell is disgusting. Number 3. The most unusual food I've ever tasted is a peanut butter and a jam sandwich. I can't believe people eat that for lunch in USA. Why would you put salty food and sweet food together like that? It is not healthy enough, and it tastes really strange. Let's continue with the next part with our workbooks. Listen and write. As soon as you finish the listen practice, we have to complete this kind of work here. For example, part A, track 18. Listen to three people talking about the most unusual food they have ever tasted. Match the pictures to the speakers. For example, I already heard about three people, okay? We have to choose what is the first, what is 2, or what is 3. Okay, you have to write the correct number here according to the description that you already heard in the listening before. In part B, listen again and use key words to complete the table. Okay, also this kind of listening practice we have to use to complete this kind of chart. For example, we have a chart with three columns. The first one says, where did they eat it? ¿Dónde lo comieron? How do they describe it? ¿Cómo lo describen? And then Did they like it? ¿Les gustaron? And number 1 says, for example here, this is about, in that case, for number 1 description, ¿dónde sucedió? Where did they eat it? Australia, right? We have to write here Australia. How do you describe it? ¿Cómo lo describen? The first person, how describe this kind of food? For example here, how do you describe it? That is extremely tough. No, that is extremely tough. Did they like it? ¿Les gustó? ¿Ustedes creen que les gustó? That is not enough. But it was difficult to chew. Fue difícil de masticar. Chew, okay? In that case, no, exactly, okay? And also, as soon as you finish this kind of example, you have already done here number 2 and number 3 to complete this kind of chart. Okay. Here we have another part of exercise, part C. Think about the most unusual food you have ever tried. Answer the questions. In that case, it's something related about you. You have to choose one kind of food that is unusual. In that case, an unusual food that you have ever tried in your life. Okay? And also you have to write here some information about this description. For example, number 1. What did you eat? ¿Dónde lo comiste? Well, I eat in Cusco. Sorry, you have to write here Cusco. Only a specific information, not all the information, okay? Only specific. So you have to write here, what did you eat? Cusco. Or what did you eat here? For example, pachamanca, no? Most of them you don't like it, okay? Or another kind of food. Or for example, in the forest, suri, no? You can use it here, suri. Number 2, where did you eat it? Cusco, Iquitos, Lambayeque is a place, okay? El lugar donde lo probaste. Here, number 3, what did it look, or smell, or taste, feel like? ¿Qué sabor tenía? ¿Qué textura tenía? ¿No? Aquí podemos utilizar lo que son los tastes and textures, ¿no? It like looks, it looks, ¿no? Escribimos lo que realmente para nosotros fue esa comida. Number 4. Did you enjoy it? ¿Te gustó? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Okay? And that's it. Here, over to you. Más allá de ti. The other D. Use your answer from exercise C to write paragraph in your notebooks about your unusual food experience. This is kind of food, for example, that already know about this kind of exercise before. Okay, for example, here, writing tutor, the most unusual food I ever tasted is ayahuasca. Okay, esa parte de aquí, chicos, ya lo hemos realizado en los writings, pero acerca del coronavirus que hemos realizado anteriormente. Eso lo hemos hecho igual, pero hemos cambiado de tema, pero el contenido se tiene ya en el cuaderno. Así que solo vamos a trabajar esta parte con una comida diferente, no con el coronavirus, pero sí con una comida de ustedes. Pero esa descripción ya no, porque la tenemos hecha en el cuaderno de inglés. ¿Ok, guys? Entonces sería hasta aquí. Me mandarían la tarea por mensajería. As soon as you finish, como terminamos, vamos a mandar esa tarea por mensajería el día de hoy. ¿Ok? Entonces, antes de despedirnos, vamos a dar unas recomendaciones. Recordemos siempre que vamos a enviar la tarea por mensajería, por favor, chicos. Vuelvo a recalcarles, ya que muchos de ustedes lo envían por responder. No es que esté mal enviarlo por la respuesta, sino que a veces para poder enviarles rápidamente sus calificaciones es más práctico y rápido por mensajería. Agradecería mucho enviarlo por ese medio. Gracias a todos los que ya lo están realizando. Ahora, en el caso de los estudiantes que aún no tienen lo que es el libro de inglés, ya sabemos cómo trabajarlo. Ya durante esta semana hemos estado practicando. Pues hemos tratado nosotros de trabajar de la manera más rápida y correcta, pero sí necesitamos, por favor, de ustedes que sean puntuales en el envío de sus actividades. El día de hoy voy a estar por Cubicol, en la plataforma de Cubicol, para cualquier duda que ustedes puedan tener en el momento. Y pues todo lo que está referido en el listening, practice, explicaciones y todo está en este video. Pero ante cualquier duda, pregunten siempre por mensajería, o también ustedes, muchos de ustedes ya tienen lo que es el número del docente, por ahí también pueden preguntar si es que desean por el grupo de WhatsApp, ¿ok? Entonces, quedó todo claro. Is everything clear? Okay, do you understand this part? Thank you very much, guys. I hope of you you like this kind of topic, and take care of a lot of you, and blessing for of you too. Thank you very much. Goodbye.